3 reasons why Americans can't stop living paycheck to paycheck. Let's dive into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Frank Talks Money. Real quick guys, I just need one favor. Just remember to like the video. The more likes the video receives, the more the algorithm will show the video with more like-minded people like you and me. Now let's dive right into the content. Guys, I just want to give you guys 3 short reasons why individuals continue to live paycheck to paycheck. Came across an interesting article I wanted to share with you guys this evening. Many Americans struggle to save money. They don't have liquid savings or any type of emergency fund and don't have any cash left at the end of the month to get to the next payday. This way of living is called living paycheck to paycheck. Living paycheck to paycheck is nothing to be ashamed of, but it can be stressful. Yes, it can. Very stressful. I've been here. If you're in this situation, take heed. You are not alone. Recent research from Payments Intelligence found that in April of 2024, 65% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. And barely having enough money in your checking account to get by till payday is not just for lower income people, it's for higher income individuals also. Payments.com also found that higher earners are vulnerable to this also. 48% of people earning over $100,000 a year or more, and 36% of people with incomes higher than $200,000 per year are living paycheck to paycheck. Let's look at 3 reasons why Americans can't stop living paycheck to paycheck. Reason number 1, income is too low. Payments.com found that among people who are living paycheck to paycheck, one of the biggest reasons was insufficient income. But it's not always just lower income people who feel like their income is too low. Even higher earners, over $200,000 a year, feel like they are underpaid. Man, somebody making over $200,000 a year feels like they're underpaid. Wow. That's crazy. If you're making over $200,000 a year, and I don't care if it's a family of 2, 4, 5, you are doing something seriously wrong if you are making that type of money and you are living paycheck to paycheck. I know you still got to pay taxes and all, but Jesus, you're probably still coming home with at least 160 grand, and you're living paycheck to paycheck off 200,000 a year. You're doing something wrong. I'm just going to call it like it is. Guys, if you're still here, remember to hit that like button for me, guys. Remember to hit that like button for me, please. So let's break down the percentage of Americans by income that are living paycheck to paycheck. 40% of people who earn less than $50,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. I can see that, especially if you're in debt. I can relate to that. 25% of people earning $50 to $100K a year are living paycheck to paycheck. I can see that also, but as you get closer to that $100,000 mark, you're probably not budgeting. You're not budgeting. You're not tracking your money. Once you get to about $100,000 a year, and again, I know you got to pay taxes, but if you're struggling at $100,000 a year, you're doing something wrong. That'll be like me. That'll be like me over $100,000 a year income and I'm struggling. That means I am doing something wrong. 16% of people earning $100,000 to $200,000 are living paycheck to paycheck. That's where I fall, my income, 100 to 200,000. But my income fluctuates because That's including my bonuses. That's including my profit sharing. So my income fluctuates. My income could come in one year 130. It could come in at 160. It could come in at 200. It all depends on how well I do my job and hit my parameters and hit my bonuses. And then it also depends on how much money I save the company in expenses, and that money flows to the bottom line of my travel stop because I get profit sharing once a year. So depending on how much money I make the company, I share in those profits. So that means my restaurants gotta do very well. My tire center gotta do very well. The store has to do very well. We have to sell a lot of diesel gallons. We gotta sell a lot of gas. Honestly, really, we don't really make money off gas. Really make our money off the diesel and the sales inside of the travel stop on merchandise and things of that nature. But if I don't do well and really keep on top of those expenses, my profit sharing check once a year could really suffer. That's why I'm really on my managers to watch expenses. And then 20% of individuals earning more than $200,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes people with higher income still struggle to save. Lifestyle creep, buying a bigger house, nicer car, newer clothes, pricier vacations, trying to basically keep up with the Joneses can kick in with higher income. And if you're not careful, you can end up with nothing left in your checking and savings if you don't keep lifestyle creep in check. Number 2, inflation. During the past few months of 2024, the official economic data has shown an encouraging outlook on inflation. Inflation is starting to come down, and with that, the Fed should start lowering interest rates, which will help Americans when it comes to spending. Unfortunately, many Americans aren't feeling any happier about inflation. Another recent survey from payments.com in August 2024 found 70% of American consumers are still living paycheck to paycheck and said their income has not kept up with inflation. I agree totally with that. Like at my company, the average raise you get, if you do really well on your yearly evaluations, a top raise in my company is 3%. If inflation is rising 2 to 3% a year, your income is not keeping up with inflation. I mean, it's just not. Nearly 75% of Americans believe that restaurant prices are still rising. Can I ask the question? If restaurants are expensive, why are we still going to restaurants? Why? If something is expensive, I just won't buy it. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just not going to buy it. If restaurants are expensive, I'm just not going to go to the restaurant. I'm just going to stay home and cook. Guys, I'm single. I am single. I got me and my dog Blaze. That's it. I don't even eat out that often. Maybe once a week. Once a week I may eat out. And I can afford to eat out. But I don't eat out. It's a waste of money. I could come home for a single guy. I could come home and whip up something really quick, and eat. Like right now, while I'm making this video, I got some chicken wings that I thawed out while I was at work today. I got chicken wings in the oven that I thawed out while I was at work. Out of that pack of chicken wings, I'll probably get about 15 wings. Come home, once I'm done with the video, I'm going to season them up, throw them in the oven, and cook them. A nice cheap meal that I'm going to get full off of. But if I would have went to eat out today, easily $20, $25 just for me. That easy $20 for a nice takeout meal. If restaurants are expensive, we need to stay home and we need to cook dinners at home. Guys, sometimes when you're trying to save money and you're trying to budget, you have to give up some things. You have to give up some things. You have to be willing to sacrifice a little bit. 71% of people believe gas prices are still going up. That would be correct. Gas prices are still fluctuating. But sometimes you may need to get strategic with your trips. Like for instance, when I go, the town I used to live in is on my way to work now because I got transferred and took on a new travel stop, right? So where I get my oil changed at is on the way to where now that I work. So I was going to go this weekend because it's about 30 miles in the town that I used to live in when I was married. So I said, you know what? Why am I going to drive there and waste that gas when I could just stop there on my way from work? Because I passed that town on my way from work. I could just stop there on my way from work, get my oil changed, and come on home. Instead of just driving 25 miles out of the way and wasting the gas. I can just stop there on my way from work. Makes sense, right? Makes sense to me. Number 3, last one, too much non-essential spending. I see this every day. Every day. Some people get into financial stress from high monthly fixed costs of living that are beyond their control, like rent, auto insurance, things of that nature. But most people from research are getting in trouble and are living paycheck to paycheck are in the situation because of choices they made about how they spend their money. Here is the percentage of people living paycheck to paycheck at each income level who said the biggest reason is because of their non-essential spending. 10% of people who earn less than $50,000 a year said they're in trouble because of non-essential spending. 12% of the individuals making 50 to 100K said they're in trouble because of non-essential spending. 16% of Americans 100K to 200K said they contribute living paycheck to paycheck to non-essential spending. And 12% earning over 200K said they get in trouble with non-essential spending. Wow. Chances are, even if you're a lower income earner, you can find ways of making different life choices about how you spend your money every month. Don't fall into self-sabotaging patterns of doom spending, where you just mindlessly spend money even if you can't afford to. High income earners should also reevaluate their spending choices. Ask yourself this: how much could I save if I cancel unused subscriptions by cooking meals at home? Would I rather go to a friend's for a weekend trip, or would I rather have $2,000 in the bank? Could I buy a cheaper car, take a cheaper vacation, or delay a big home renovation? Sometimes a few small choices can add up to big savings over time. You don't have to stay stuck on the treadmill of living paycheck to paycheck, guys. Earning a decent yield on your savings can help you inspire you to cut out your spending and save more cash. Guys, I'm telling you, living paycheck to paycheck, in my opinion, individuals can turn the tide with just some few minor adjustments, can get you out of this habit of living paycheck to paycheck. Start budgeting your money, pay down your debt, save an emergency fund. Those 3 moves will eventually get you out of paycheck to paycheck living. Budget your money, track your spending, pay down your debt, save an emergency fund. So guys, hope you got something out of that. Those 3 reasons why Americans continue to live paycheck to paycheck. Please remember to like the video, share the video, and most important, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Frank Talks Money. And with that, guys, remember, Financial decisions you make today will impact your financial life tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Frank Talks Money. I am out.